Welcome back. Joining us is a social political commentator and a public affairs analyst. He is Chidi Okoro Esquire. It's a pleasure to have you here with us, sir. Thank you so much for coming.
It's my pleasure as well.
Thank you so much. It's always a glad feeling seeing you at the studio.
Thank you, Chidima.
Four traders from Obo Ogu Bridgehead Market in Onitsha, Anambra State, have taken legal action against the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, the Standard Organization of Nigeria, SON, and two officials alleging unlawful interference in their fundamental human rights. The traders, Peter Okala, Alhaji Yunusa Tanko, Professor Samuel Anidike, and C.C. Emeronwu, filed a suit at the Federal High Court in Oka, seeking judicial intervention to halt what they describe as arbitral actions by the agencies. They are also members of the United Nigeria Group. Through their counsel, Chibike Nwabweze, the applicants claim that not all traders in the market are involved in counterfeit drug dealings, contrary to NAFDAC's allegations. The traders are requesting the court to issue an order restraining the respondents and the cooperatives from further breaking into their shops without a valid court order or search warrant. They also seek an injunction preventing the confiscation of their goods and a demand for 100 million naira in damages, which is 50 million as exemplary damages and another 50 million naira as the general damages. Still on a related development, Director General of the National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, Professor Mojishola Adeyeye, has revealed that her life is in danger due to her efforts to rid the country of fake and illicit drug products. She said she no longer has personal freedom as she cannot move about without security protection. According to the NAFDAC DG, her staff who assist her in making her job meaningful are also facing security threats. She recounted how one of her staff members' sons was kidnapped but fortunately escaped from his abductors. Speaking on the controversies surrounding recent seizures in drug markets across the country, she stated that the large-scale enforcement operation across three major open drug markets, Onitsha, Aba, and Lagos, was one of the biggest in NAFDAC's history. We intentionally had to make this elaboration so you understand the situation. The last time you were here, we had this same conversation about NAFDAC confiscation. It's more like anytime you're at the studio, we always have that NAFDAC conversation. And I remember you made a statement about the closure, that they should open some of them because not everyone could be involved in the counterfeit products like this traders has stated. And I tried to counter it somehow, speaking from the angle that NAFDAC decided to close these markets because they observed or they noticed that everyone could be involved. It's just like when you have X in a basket and you notice that 5 of them are broken. You just really have to empty the baskets to really know, how the situation, how you get to sort it out. Yeah. I'm sure that was why NAFDAC took this action. And the traders coming out to sue them over that, which you said, it's kind of a weird situation. But I'd love to get your thoughts on this, please.
Yeah, just to reiterate what I earlier said in this studio, that you can't criminalize everyone because a member of community A is in the habit of stealing other people's eggs, you now say any male you see from that community is an egg stealer. It's a hasty generalization, and such conclusions cannot be right. It's too subjective. So, like I mentioned earlier on in this studio, that there should be a strategic and intelligent gathering on the people who are doing these things. And I say that it's a difficult task to do. We send your men into the market, they will be able to detect you should have some form of intelligence gathering. You can deploy, even if it's not your men, you can have some ad hoc staff you can deploy. Plainclothes detectives who may not be your staff. It can be ad hoc trained staff to go and check on these things. They get you those informations. Then you sweep on those people. Right. They are civil enough. Go to court, and probably the court may grant them the damages.
Well, why do you think the court will grant them the damages? Because, you know, yes, we understand from your angle and where you are coming from. And I'm not going to be on a particular side. I'm trying to look at a side where, like I talked about the bad egg scenario in the basket. When you notice that something is wrong in this particular set, in this particular zone, and you want to achieve something, you want to make sure you get a result from that. You just get everything involved and everyone involved. I feel that was the decision that NAFDAC took. Because, yes, the intelligence gathering that you talked about would have actually be a good one. But oftentimes, I don't think that intelligence gathering will also actually get to bring out that situation. This counterfeit, fake drugs that we're talking about, you don't really, you make your research once in a while, and I'm not sure you really get that accurate desire that you really want to. You know, let's say a trader A or shop A has original, and trader B has the original and the fake one mixed together. Some of them actually sell two different types together. I don't know if you've been to a store where someone will be like,
yeah, they present you two options.
Yes, and tell you, okay, my sister, this one is the original. My brother, this one is I'll tell you the truth, but because I'm the one selling it, they'll tell you this one is the original, so I'll advise you take this one. This one is imitated. Do you get? So that kind of situation can, you know, not make that intelligence gathering a resourceful one.
So already you have exposed yourself that when you tell me this one is original, and the price, okay, let's say, for example, the common drug over the counter medicine, this paracetamol. You tell me this one is from so company, is original. A card is 500 naira. This one is from India.
Less than this.
We sell it 150. It's not as original as this one. You have already exposed yourself that you are selling a fake one. So the intelligence is already working. Right? Because when you tell me the price of this one is so amount, and this one, I will try to inquire more. I will price into your this. I say, why the difference? Most times when you ask them why,
do you think they actually give you a response?
They give response when you ask them why the difference. They tell you, yes, because of the potency. That this one is original. This one, they are the same thing, no, but it's not as original as this.
Yes.
And by that time, you use your common sense to know that, or he will not call it fake. That this one is more original, is stronger,
or more effective.
More effective, has potency than this. He has already exposed it. He will not call it fake. But already he has told you that that one is fake. Yeah, it's very simple. There's no way. If we call it intelligence gathering, and you get this information, you say intelligence gathering is not working. It's working. It works. Why does it not work? It's because if you have people who are not trained into how to gather information, they won't be able to know what questions and how to enter to get all these things done. So that is why you say it will not work. When people are not trained for a particular thing, you won't achieve results in that aspect, in that area. But when you are trained for this, what you are doing, and you are doing it well. So if NAFDAC should deploy their staff or some ad hoc staff, train them on that particular aspect of this, and to go and do it, like we call them ad hoc, is for a temporary period of time.
Yeah.
If they are trained for such thing, deploy them to the market. They should be able to do that. But with the results, you go and get results. That's how we know it works. So, but when you go, you didn't get any result, it means that either you didn't understand what you were sent for, then you train other people or look for those who understand what they are meant to do,
Okay.
and continue to use those people. Yeah, intelligence gathering works. It depends on the training, at the disposal of those people.
Okay. So you talked about the fine that they put on NAFDAC over the disruption of their goods, the confiscation of, because they feel they are original. So now that destroying them in terms that these goods are counterfeit drugs is really not good.
Yeah,
to
before
them.
you destroy my goods, you have to prove to me that what I have is not the original.
Okay.
It's fake. You have to prove it before you destroy it, before you confiscate it. It has to be proven, and not just you generalize and commonize everyone as criminals, and you carry my goods, go and dump somewhere for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You are not feeding me, you are not paying. You have to pay for those idle days and weeks.
Okay, thank you so much on that, Barrister Chidi. Well, we'll go on a quick break. When we return, we will continue with the rest of the stories. Just stay with us. Welcome back. Former President Goodluck Jonathan on Tuesday said the nation was not getting accurate vote counts during elections due to the involvement of those he described as ghost voters. He also said it is better and more honorable for the chairman and other officials of the Independent National Electoral Commission to resign rather than yield to pressure to manipulate elections. Jonathan made the session at the YIAGA Africa Reflection Conference on Democratic Elections in West Africa held in Abuja. The former president emphasized that without strong and ethical leadership in electoral management, the electoral system would remain flawed. He called for a robust electoral system that works to ensure credible elections. When both parties are strong and the system cannot be manipulated, only real human beings will cast and their votes will count, he affirmed. Jonathan also criticized the regionalization of the electoral process, stating that it is a major hindrance to Nigerians' desire to elect capable leaders. If our system of electing our leaders are not fine-tuned to the level that the voters' card will work, then what will be so great about democracy? Jonathan queried. He stressed the importance of improving the voter registration system and electoral processes to ensure that democracy functions effectively. Quickly, I'd love to get your thoughts on this, Barrister Okoro, on this coming from Jonathan. I'm sure Nigerians already know this, this affirmation coming from former presidents of Nigeria and giving us, advocating improvement of our electoral system because we, to him and to Nigerians, it's not been a favorable, situation for us. What do you make of this, please?
Yeah, I think he's in the right place to tell us and because what Nigerians were crying out for, he witnessed it. He lost election. He woefully lost an election, which he presided over. So, if he's crying like this, I think he's in the right place to cry. Perhaps in his mind, he's thinking that he shouldn't have lost that election. He's thinking it in the other way around, that election, that people voted for him, but it didn't count. Either it was manipulated in favor of another person, which was Buhari.
He talked about the electronic voters card and the IVF, BVAS, and yes, all of that. It's something that we need to actually work on. And if he said he talks about electronic voting, at his time, he said it did not work, and we introduced BVAS, it did not work. So what's the guarantee that technology will actually, be workable in Nigeria, that we should actually...
Operators is what is questionable. So it means, I think what he is emphasizing is not just on the technology, but the handlers of the technology, the operators of that technology, the operators of the system, entire system. People are kept as electoral officers, electoral commissioners, and all the rest. So he is questioning their integrity because they are the people. For example, the BVAS does not have any issue, but nothing inside. You're just carrying a toy. The BVAS become a toy in the hands of the operators. Someone else is in Abuja manipulating what you are having. You try, no network. You see the people, the electors wanted to
for improvement on the electoral system. Do you think by the 2027 election is going to be an entirely different one where the votes of every individual will count?
It's not going to count.
It's not going to count.
At all. It's not going to count.
I've had several discussions with several people, and a few individuals have come to say, I have noticed my votes do not count, so I do not guarantee that I would want to cast my vote in the coming election. So this is more like a displeasure kind of situation, if you may ask me.
Yeah, it is. You are still having the same people. How many of them were prosecuted? How many of them that did these things were prosecuted? This is where even the National Assembly should come in. The judiciary, I don't want to say much on the judiciary. Yes, the Nigerians know whether they are living up to the expectation or not. Nigerians know. They came up with all eyes on the judiciary. And you are still watching them. What happened at the end? The whole eyes of 220 million Nigerians were on judiciary. At the end, what did you see and what did you do? Eyes will continue to be there. You are doing your own, you are watching, and they are doing what they are doing. Until we begin to punish electoral offenders, things will not change.
So, in essence, this advocate, this word coming from Jonathan,
it's just an empty cry. There's nothing. We're not going to have any change from that. It's not going to yield anything. He are just, as we are discussing it here, they ends it. Who else is going to carry out his expectations? Are they going to discuss further on that? That's the end. Because it's also the system, all of them left behind. Because of selfish interest and the motives. All these our leaders, I've said it here, are not sincere. Until you get a sincere leader. Like, let me mention somebody who seemingly looked like a sincere leader, though he didn't live for us to enjoy him. Yaradua. Yaradua said the system that brought him was corrupt, but he wants to change it. He acknowledged that it was, but these other people, none of them had ever acknowledged that they were corruptly brought in, or they corruptly brought themselves in. Not even, nobody brought them. They forced themselves on Nigerians corruptly. None of them had ever acknowledged that, except Yaradua. And he said he wants it to be changed, but unfortunately, there is this adage that good things don't last. The man didn't last. Yeah. So that is the thing, and we never lived to see whether that Nigerian factor would have also worked on him, or he would have been a different leader altogether. So that was unfortunate. But each time I remember that man, I remember a president we never had. Yes.
Thank you so much on this. It's actually a painful one, if you may ask me. Thank you so much on this, Barrister Okoro. Well, we hope, and during the 2023 election that was conducted, a lot of Nigerians came to cast their votes. Actually, most Nigerians in diaspora had to fly down to Nigeria because they wanted change. Everyone was seeking for a different government.
There was a widespread yearning for change.
Yes, for change. You know, but
and a lot of Nigerians participated with their hearts, sacrificed. I remember it rained. People were under the rain. People were, you know, they trekked a distance to go and cast their vote. People starved themselves just to go and cast their votes. At the end, the corrupt system did what they did. And that is why Nigeria will continue to suffer. Because there is a systemic failure. And all of them know about it. Nobody will want to change that system. Because they believe that if the system is changed, it's not going to work to their favor. So, changing that system is like Nigerians go say they swear. They don't swear. Say the system no change. So it will be left to continue to operate like that. Perhaps when I leave, my children will inherit that system and be able to manipulate it. If if it's not my children, my friends, my friends, my relatives, or whatever. Yeah. So let the system be there. Let the system continue to be there. It's not as if they don't know. They know about this. But they would not want it to be changed because if it changes, they won't near the near corridor of power. I want to tell you this: Nigerians are wise. Nigerians are not fools. Nigerians already know those they want, and should play their role. And